I've got Yvonne Rouge here with me, and she is the founder of Original Slab. And I'm just going to pull up her Instagram page right now for you to see. And as you can see, it's just so beautifully created. And how many followers have you got now?
Oh, I think about 16,000.
Wow, that's amazing. When did you start your page?
Bic, I cannot remember. That's a really good question. I honestly cannot remember. It was a few years ago.
Yeah. Was there a tipping point where it went all of a sudden from 100 to 10,000?
Found was the tipping points were always when I had an engagement with a social influencer. Whenever I had an engagement with them and perhaps they've reposted something of mine, that's when I found the growth had jumped up significantly. So, for example, I made a little Catherine Sabbath cake and she reposted that, and I think I woke up to a few thousand extra followers.
And how did you get in touch with influencers?
Some influencers simply repost what you've posted because you've tagged them.
Yes, okay.
And others, which is probably only once or twice, where I've actually sent them some product and then they've actually, mentioned it on stories or on Instagram. So social influencers or influencers in general on social media, they're a great point for you to tap into and increase your following, because the more followers you have, obviously the more people potentially you have to buy your product or service.
That's right. Do you pay these influencers, or?
I've never paid an influencer. I've only ever sent them product that I've made specifically for them. So I've only ever chosen people that I feel connected to as well.
Who's in line with your aesthetics. And
So I don't feel like I've sent product to people just for the sake of getting followers. I don't feel comfortable with that, because the people that I've engaged with, they're people that I find inspirational, people that I find are kind people. They're lovely to follow. So that's where I've tapped into people that I like and I feel comfortable with.
Biggest thing now is Instagram stories. Let me know how you feel about Instagram stories and how important it is in your business.
Instagram stories are extremely important, only because Instagram has actually stopped, and it's been for a long time now, it's actually stopped pushing content out to a majority of people that follow you. So
is that called shadowing or something like that?
There is a word called shadowing, but it's not because of that. It's because they have their own algorithm, and if someone hasn't seen or liked one of your posts in a 2-week period, Instagram will then just drop off. And it takes a lot of work to get back on. Now, stories, I find, because people watch stories a lot, even if you post 1 or 2 stories a day, you will get people possibly seeing you up on that top bit rather than somewhere in that stream or feed. And chances are you aren't in that feed. I've had so many people contact me to say, I don't see your product anymore.
And then I think it's the same. I was not seeing much of your product until I actually went and physically searched you. And then you got back on my feed again.
And it will be for 2 weeks usually. Until you re-engage.
How do you find content for your stories?
With my stories, obviously I don't promote myself because I'm not the business. My product is the business. So what I generally do is I look at things that are inspirational to me. So I know it sounds crazy, but maybe something that I like that I've seen.
Do you ever post yourself?
No.
Not at all. So your face is not on Instagram at all. Okay. I never liked posting myself. It was all about my artwork, but the more I post myself on it, the more traffic I got through.
I know that people say that, however, I personally am not comfortable with posting myself. Bic knows all about the fact that she had to ask me about
10 times
to do this.
I understand. I mean, it works for you, I guess. So you just have to find what works for you, right? If your business is visual, like your business and my Sketchmill business, Instagram's the way to go. You can link your shopping links, or what do you call that?
Yes.
Is it called shopping links?
It's a shopping, I don't know if it's a cart, but it's
not a cart, but it links into Shopify or some whatever platform
Marketplace,
you're using.
I think it is.
Marketplace.
Okay, we can.
Oh no, that's
we can
no.
cut all of
Actually,
that.
Marketplace is Facebook. Marketplace is Facebook, isn't it?
Yes.
Anyway,
it's Facebook.
the little shopping bag in the corner of Instagram, you can link that to your product on your website, so people can just see your jewellery, earrings, and go, I like that. I can just tap on that tag. Tell me how you plan your Instagram posts.
So I do use Planoly.
Yep.
Is that how you say it?
I have no idea. I don't use it. No. What is it? Is it an app?
It's an app, but it's also a website, so you can use either or.
Okay.
So you can import your pictures into that and tell Planoly when you'd like to schedule the pictures.
Okay, so a bit like Later.
Yes, I was about to say. So it's the same as Later, and I find that I have all these grandiose plans to sit down and schedule a month's worth of content, but I like to sometimes wing it because I like to
be spontaneous.
Yeah.
But you could always schedule it, 2 weeks in advance, for example, and then on that morning you wake up and you want to, post something. Can you just still, squeeze in a post as well?
You can schedule as many posts in a day as you like.
Yeah.
Because my feed is very colour blocked.
Yeah.
I'm very specific about
What
if I have a pink block, I need a white block. So if I know that I'll be scheduling, like I like to do Cheers to the Weekend on a Friday.
Yes.
I need to know that I'm going to fill that space with the right colours. I know it sounds crazy, but I love
OCD.
I love colour and I love being visual. So for me, it's not just about it being perfect, but also it's just I like to see it that way.
Yeah,
and
of course. That's how your whole look and feel, and it works for a lot of Instagram page. That whole, what do you call it, like color coordinated grid, and my posts are just sporadical. I have got no rhyme or reasons to my posts at all, which I keep thinking, yes, I should do this, and then it just flies out the window.
I don't think you need to color block or be color coordinated or. It's just something that the marketing experts say that if you do that, people are engaged in your brand being that way, and that's what they expect from your brand, and that's how they remember your brand. It's consistent, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about consistency.
Yeah.
And that's where people remember your brand. So that's why some people do it. I do it because I like it.
You like looking.
I like looking at consistency, and that's just who I am.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you have a professional photographer that takes pictures of your products to post?
I have had some of my photos taken professionally when I was approached by Jetstar magazine. However, I do majority of the pictures myself on an iPhone 11, and I find that the quality is quite good, but the lighting needs to be perfect. So on a day like today, which is overcast, sometimes I find that I need to wait for a sunnier day to get a better picture.
Do you have equipment in terms of light box and lights? No.
I just have a few spots where I know that the lighting will be perfect.
Yeah.
On a perfect day.
Yeah. Do you take jewellery on people?
No, but I am planning on taking some photos because when you buy jewellery, you do like to see jewellery on people. Yeah. And that's something that's part of my business plan for this year.
Yeah. You've been to a lot of Instagram digital marketing courses, haven't you? What are some of the tips that you've learnt from that?
So the tips that I've learnt from the courses that I've been on, or seminars where they've discussed what works on Instagram, is don't take photos at night. That's the first one.
Yeah.
Make sure that you've got content that the customer will want to see. Yeah. So if they're used to seeing a particular theme from you, keep that theme going. Yeah. Also, don't post just for the sake of posting. And I know that posting is very important. Yeah. Because the more you post, the more Instagram will then increases your algorithm, and they'll have your obviously posts in other people's feeds and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. However, there's all these little things like just post if it's actually worthwhile posting. Don't post if it's not. Yeah. Be consistent. Make sure you answer people's comments within an hour because apparently the algorithm takes that into consideration as well. So there's all these crazy things that you have to be on top of.
Yeah. What about things like when you're commenting on someone's post or when you're answering comments, you've got to use more than 3 words? Is that something that's
I've
true?
heard that as a rumor. However, I don't know if it's true. And they also talk about when you're actually putting comments under your post to write more than a sentence, and that's where people apparently are a lot more engaged.
Yeah. You use hashtags
Yes. So hashtags
within your posts?
I use them both within my posts and outside of my posts,
Right.
because I've been told that sometimes they work better when
Yeah.
they're in your post or outside of your post.
Right.
However,
So that's in a comment. When you're saying outside of your post, it's in a comment underneath.
yes,
Yep.
yes. I'm not sure if this is true, but I do find sometimes when I post something with a shopping link on it, it doesn't do as well as something without a shopping link. And I'm not sure if that's Instagram then putting your product on the back foot and
Yeah.
not promoting your product as much.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I've heard that if you direct Instagram or Facebook to another platform, like say for example on Facebook I put a link to YouTube, it affects the algorithm because it likes to keep your viewer on the platform for as long as possible. That's why the movies are good, because it's keeping the viewer on the platform. So I guess if you're putting a link to Shopify, it's moving them from Instagram to Shopify.
That makes sense.
So yeah. Do you repost other people's stories that post as your stories?
Yes, yes. So I often, if not always, repost a story that someone's tagged me in. I always appreciate it. It's overwhelming that someone is going to mention you in a post or a story.
Saying thank you, I guess.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
So what are some ways to piss people off on Instagram though? Is there anything as too many posts?
I don't know about now, but in the past when you've got someone that's just posting stuff that's irrelevant, I guess you don't want to see just multiple posts of the same event, for example. Not necessarily, like I've got one company that I love to follow, it's a small business, the Confetti Academy.
Yeah.
And she's lovely, the lady that runs it, and she, whenever she has an event, she posts multiple photos, but of all different people. And she actually asked once, am I posting too many photos? And everyone said no, because you're posting photos of this amazing event of all the people that attended, and that's not annoying. But when someone's got themselves or their one product and they keep reposting it 10 times in one day, I guess you're flicking through. You don't get a lot of variety. I don't know.
Yeah.
No one should get upset if people unfollow, because all it is we all have different points in our life where we're changing, where we're evolving, where we like something this year, but we might not like it as much the following year.
Yeah.
And I know that one lady that I follow, Caroline from Nectar and Stone, she unfollowed a lot of people at one stage. She said that she's changing her lifestyle and she's no longer her interests, and she's no longer making food and I haven't seen anything new from her in a long time. She's reposting though.
Yeah.
You can't get angry at people that decide to unfollow. Everyone's got reasons why they unfollow, and it's fine.
What's on the cards for your Instagram marketing strategy in the next 12 months?
Consistency, which is always on the cards.
Yeah.
So keeping it consistent, possibly posting less, because
you feel like you're a slave to Instagram sometimes.
Yes. So Instagram is a full-time job in itself.
Do you post and forget, or do you post and come back and monitor it and see what it's doing and how well it's performing?
I generally post and then I will check to see what comments are made so that I can engage with the followers and answer any questions. That's generally what I do. However, I'd like to focus on wholesale in the next 12 months. So
business to business.
Businesses
follow you too though.
Yes, they do.
Absolutely. Do you promote your stockers?
Yes. So every time I have a stockist, I either promote them in a story or a post, and then when I restock, I promote them again, because they're as important as everyone else that buys retail as well, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have a business.
Yes, exactly. Well, thank you very much. That's really insightful,
Vic.
and I've got lots of information there that is very useful. I'll put Yvonne's contact details in the comment sections or in the description section, and you need to go and check out her Instagram page, which is right here, because it's just beautiful.
Thanks guys.